All right, this is a podcast that I have to do. I really don't want to do it. But I love my country. I love North America, and I hate what's going on. I actually had an amazing, interesting conversation with people at my lake house. People are starting to wake up and smell the coffee and realize what's going on. If you see what's going on in the UK, Canada, and the States, pretty much all Western cultures, there's a thing called the Great Replacement Theory. Now, what that is that the governments of the world are bringing in X amount of immigrants to replace the local population. I think the stat is the House of Lords had a meeting in the UK. By 2040, the British native population will be the minority. In Canada, it will be by 2060, it will be Canadian-born citizens will be the minority population. Now, this is no longer a theory. It's actually a proven fact. And I'm saying this because I'm a patriot. I am not racist by any means. I have lots of browns and Asian friends. I don't care if you're from the Ukraine, you're from any country in the world. You come to any country, you conform to our way and our way of living, and you respect our laws and our women and our children. What's going on in the UK is just a start of what's going to happen in North America. North America is always a year behind from anything happening in Europe. So we're going to watch a few of these videos for you guys to get updated, because I need you guys to start waking up, because I love my country and I want my children to grow up in the country that we were accustomed to as children. I do not like seeing what's going on. The massive immigration that is coming in here is just destroying everything in Canada. You think it's bad today. If we don't stand up and take back our country, it's going to get so much worse. I don't know why Canadians are so complacent. Look at the years of 2020 to 2022. That alone should just wake you up. If you're not awake yet from that alone, I don't know what's going to wake you up. But I'm going to stand here and fight. And there's nothing worse when I see men that are supposed to be men. And they're like, oh, I'm just going to leave the country and go down south to Mexico. And then when it gets better, I'll come back. No, you're not. Because when Canadians stand up and fight for their country, and we take back our country, those that ran away, well, we're going to have a little sit down when you come back and, give you a lesson on manhood. Because I'm going to stand and fight. Natalie and me are going to stand and fight for our children. Well, she's in K-5. She sees what's going on in the school systems. It's so bad that they have to take self-defense classes from K-5. Self-defense classes from K-5, like, if that's even absurd to even talk about. She's not allowed to defend herself. She can't push the kid, nothing, whatever it is. If she gets attacked with a knife, she has to sit there and get stabbed. She has to literally take it or run away, whatever it is. But she cannot touch the kid or discipline the kid in any way. The kid is allowed to do what they want. When she was doing her pactum, she was going to go train in Surrey, and she did. She was terrified. Teachers get stabbed there and beat with bats or whatever it is. And the reason why they have such huge turnover in teachers there is because it's unsafe. Like, we need to start, realizing the truth. It is not racist to be a nationalist and stand up for your country. I will die for my country. I will fight for my country. And I hope that I wake enough of you up that we can lead or fight together and take our country back. Clearly, our governments of the world are not in the best interests of the people. Here, I'll give you one thing that should wake you up. It's simple logic. This is for even low intelligent people. This is simple math. Look at this. Trudeau donates X amount, $500 million to Ukraine to go help another country out. I can drive down any restaurant down Highway 1, east and west. It is filled with homeless. That was never a thing 10 years ago. Never. It's old tent city, and it's getting worse. They print money from nothing and make you pay taxes on your money so they can put you in forever slavery. Why do we pay taxes on the money we earn? Our ancestors went to war over 2% T-tax. We're getting taxed 50, 60% of our wages. For what? All of you are running around working 2 to 3 jobs just to pay taxes and bills and then you have health problems from eating cheap, shitty food, and then you die. That's your life. We can live a better life. I know we all can, and I believe in all of you. When it's just people and no government or anything like that, people are good neighbors. We're all good to each other. We're all respectful of each other. We all love each other. It is time to put down the donuts, get your ass in shape, and hit the gym and do a little bit of research. If you know the stats of a football game, go know the stats of what's going on in your country. Enough is enough. The stats alone, where 1 in 2 people will be obese by 2030, is alarming. They said literally on the news, by 2030, 1 in 2 people will have cancer in North America. Wake up. I started this podcast. I spent $15K on this out of my own money, and I'm risking my own freedom and my own my life to help you, to wake you up. Because I cannot be a man and live with myself if I just go pay bills the rest of my life and not do anything to fix my country. Well, my little daughter grows up and she looks at me, Dad, why didn't you guys do anything? Well, you know what? We're all a bunch of pussies. It's embarrassing. This is what this podcast is about, is to wake the men up to take back our fucking country. North America wide and the UK. We're all brothers and sisters. We all fought together in World War I, World War II, and we won because we were together and we fought together. We need to go back to the 1930s mindset. And a lot of girls have commented, oh, girls have no rights. I'm not talking about that, ladies. What I'm talking about is 1930 family traditional values. Real men, real women. If women want to go to work, that is fine. But I know as soon as you guys hit 30, you don't want to work when you have kids. It's like 90% of you don't. If you want to be a boss babe, don't complain that nobody wants you to have kids with you because you're too successful, you aged out, you're past your prime. We need to go back to 1930s mindset. Men have men jobs. Women have women jobs. We're both equally important. Without us working together, the society falls apart. One man, one woman, relationships, having children. If you are gay and you want to go the in vitro side of things and have kids, that is awesome. Just make sure you stay together. Do not divorce. This is another podcast I want to do about how the divorce rate is actually embarrassing. I actually hear women talk about, it's my first marriage, it's my second marriage, it's my third marriage. What the hell is the point of getting married if you're just going to get divorced? Me and Natalie have a written agreement of what we will not accept and accept on both sides. It cannot be breached. Marriage is not about individual happiness. Marriage is about the family unit and raising the children to better our society and prolong our society and our way of life. That is it. A man will sacrifice his happiness for his family. A woman will sacrifice her family for her happiness. How fucked up is that? It needs to stop. All of you. It's like I got to be the dad of all of you. And I don't want to be. I'm doing this because I have to. I've restless sleeps at night because I'm like, what the fuck is going on in the world? We live in one of the most beautiful countries on the planet. We have the best freedoms. During World War II, our great-grandfathers fought for these privileges. This is why I'm so happy they're bringing back the draft in the States for women and men. I hope they do it to Canada. I'm jealous that I'm aged out. I wish I could do it at 18 and just lead you all and just show you how fun it is. Discipline is key to a better society. Now, there was a few comments in a few of my other short clips about, there's a stat about why are women so fat nowadays? And then the girl's like, because they can't afford good food. Where's the accountability? You can eat good foods. Just have accountability. I'm a success story. I was 300 pounds in high school. Now I'm down to 202. I'll be down to 182 by Christmas. My Christmas gift to myself is a full-on chisel six-pack. That's my goal. That's my gift to me. I like to challenge myself because when you actually reach your goals in life, it's the best high on the planet. It's amazing. My fun, people are like, what do you do for fun? I'm like, well, I have a stretch from November 1st to December 23rd. I'm going to eat 1,500 calories a day and no cheat meals and just work out 2 days off a week and just discipline myself and just sit in my dark dungeon and in the dark when I have bad cravings and say no. Because when I beat that little devil in my head, oh my God, I feel so victorious. That is what I do for fun. I know that's a little fucked up. A lot of people go out and drinking. I did that my entire 20s. I partied more than all of you combined. I got clean. I got sober. My clean date is August 13th of this year. I'll be 8 years sober. But before that, I had a lot of fun. And I don't regret it because it turned me in the man I am today. The reason why I'm going on this rant is because over the weekend, I was starting to see a glimpse of hope of Karen's waking up. It was so beautiful. I almost cried. It was such a beautiful experience. Like these people that are triple, quadruple jabbed and they're like, hey, I think we're being replaced. I'm like, oh, wow, the freaking light bulbs are going off. Like that's half the battle for me. Thank you. As a star seed, it's my moral obligation and duty to educate you and to learn what's going on so I can share my knowledge with you. I have these weird gifts where someone will talk to me and my mind will play out exactly what the end of the conversation or the conversation is about before they even finish sentence, before they're done. And then these images will flash through my head 1,000 times a second of how to bring solutions to that problem. And then I'll just start spewing it. It'll just come out of me. And so when I bring on my next guest tomorrow, I'm going to educate him. I don't mean to interrupt anyone. It's just how my mind works, how my abilities work. And I have to use them at their full abilities to get this population woken up and let's get things pushed through. You know what? I love Pierre Poilievre. I love your ideas. I love the shit you say. I love Trump because I love that he is America first. I don't care if he's an honest asshole. That's the guy we need right now. I'd rather have a leader that's in power, that's feared amongst our enemies, than a vagina. The current administrations on both sides of the border is not optimal at all. Now, Pierre, I will give you a message from the Canadians. When you are elected, and you will be elected, it's clear as day. We will hold you accountability on everything. We should hold all of our leaders accountable moving forward. Okay, you want to go into office? We vote you in. You promised all this. You have 1 year to deliver. I do this with all my clients in real estate. Okay, you have until 2 o'clock the next day to answer your phone. If you don't, I move on. See you later. Bye. And that's what made me super successful, because I deliver every time when someone hires me, or I bring them what they want every time. Now, we're going to get back to these videos. I had to get that out because it was eating me alive. I see my little daughter growing up and I'm like, I got to do something. I got to say something. And hopefully my voice reaches enough of you to wake you up. I was actually on X the other day and I love Elon for this. Elon has created a platform where you can literally say everything that you want. I don't care if I'm offended. I tell my boys, I'd rather be friends with honest assholes that always tell me you're fat, you're ugly, you're broke, whatever it is, the rest of my life, so I can always be the best version of myself. The worst friends accept you at your worst. Period. Get yourself some friends that will tell you, hey, you look fat in that red shirt. Hey, you're broke, your car is embarrassing, get the hell out of here. Hey, your money's a bit low, you not got to get it up. Stop complaining your wife left you because maybe you're a loser. Stop being a loser. All of you. If I can come from a trailer park and I can build myself into a 7-figure man and I can raise kids traditional, so can you. I hate the excuse from parents or potential parents when they're like, kids are too expensive. Wow, maybe you don't have to buy a bag of blow this weekend to buy your kids some diapers. Maybe just try that, eh? Maybe sacrifice a few trips to Vegas so you can twerk for free drinks and have some children. This is also what I'm going to start off with here. The Great Replacement Theory from immigration theory. We locals, born locals, brown, Asians, blacks, whites. I know you love Canada. I have lots of amazing people in my life that love Canada, but you're not having enough children. We are a Christian country, even though I'm not religious at all. I want to clear that out. I'm against religion. I am pro bringing people together. Religion has done nothing but divide mankind for the last 2,000 years, and it needs to stop. But I'm going to stop with that rant. So anyways, A new way. So the old way of taking a country over is you invade with armies. We know that. We're all educated on that. A new way of taking over a country is bringing enough population from from Ukraine to Canada, and they have 3 kids per 2 people. We have 1.4 kids per 2 people. Germany is the lowest, 1.4 kids per 2 people. I love Putin for one thing he said 2 weeks ago on X, where now they're promoting Russians to have 6 to 8 kids per 2 people to bring up their population, because he is now aware of the stats and educating his people and putting his nation first, as he should. And now he's doing incentivizing people to have more children. And I know a lot of you are like, oh, he's a Putin lover. I am in love with anyone that puts their people first and etc. Please go do your research before you put low intelligent comments on here. Go look at alternative news. Turn global news off. Turn CNN off. Turn all those mainstream medias off. Go look at alternative news, please. And do your own research, and then you'll have a better judgment on what Putin's doing. You'll have a better judgment on what the West is doing. You'll have a more overall big picture. Now, we're going to start off with this.
The alleged gunman espoused something called the Great Replacement Theory in suspected writings online.
This document outlines the shooter's motives and details how he had been radicalized. The manifesto's author also writes about something called the Great Replacement.
That is a racist conspiracy theory that basically in Western countries like the United States and some countries in Europe, some type of racial and religious group of external minorities from somewhere else in the world will, quote, replace the rightful white supremacist majority of those nations.
Of course we're not working to import as many new citizens as we can in the United States to replace all the disobedient ones who didn't vote for us. In other words, you're being replaced and there's nothing you can do about it. So shut up! The Great Replacement Theory, it's a lie, they yell. George Soros has nothing to do with that. Stop talking. Great Replacement. They acknowledge that it's real and they love it. This policy is called the Great Replacement, the replacement of legacy Americans with more obedient people from faraway countries. The Great Replacement plan is working.
It is working. Look what's happening in the UK. My brother's over there. I have a few people that play hockey with that to fly back over there to help out what's going on. It's just not here some shit that's going on in the UK. Actually, that was in Ontario, my correction, but it is starting over here, but we are like a year behind. Here we go. Here's the UK. Now, feminists out there, I need to warn you of one thing and one thing only. We need to put our differences aside and call a truce right now. When they want to implement Sharia law, like for example, Canada will be outbred by 2060. So if there's enough of them, of the majority, and they get into office, which they already are, and they bring in Sharia law or Islamic law, do you understand what that's going to do to you? These people in their country, they do what they do. That's their country, that's their right. But when they come to Canada, you know, they have to go under our law, our current law systems, which you're all accustomed to. Now, when things change, Governments change all the time for the majority of the people. Remember that. And when they get the majority, and they will, it's just a matter of time. It's coming. Then you will have to cover it up. Just go look at what Arab countries are like, what their way of living is. It's nothing that you ever want to live in. The West is totally different than the East. I respect their way of living, but this is Canada, and this Canada will stay Canada over my dead body. Now, I am asking all of you to rise up in a peaceful manner, but we've been doing that during the truckers' protests, and look where it got us. It got, honestly, if that didn't happen, we'd probably still be playing COVID today, right? I'm just blown away that was even a thing in our time. We'll go hear some more stuff. Now, apparently what's else going on is this all started pretty much in Ireland, let's say 6 months back, where Conor McGregor got involved, where a bunch of local kids were killed by immigrants. And then he made a big protest about it. The locals started standing up and fighting back, which they have every right to. And then what happened in the UK here is another immigrant killed or stabbed some young girls or boys or whatever it was. Tragic loss. And then the locals, remember, the locals are brown and white. There's no racism here. They're all born there. So they all are fighting together to fight to keep their country. Now, the craziest thing, you want to know how your government is truly corrupt? Some politician, I'm not sure who it is, went on the news and said this message 2 days ago, saying, though the locals that are attacking the immigrants because of their skin color will be arrested and they will regret it tomorrow, I promise you that. What kind of prime minister or politician says that on the news when he's elected for the people of the UK? Who does that? That's like Trudeau, which I'm sure it's coming, where he says, Canadians, if you don't rent from the immigrant, you're a racist, you're going to lose your house and you're going to move out. Like, simple as that. I'm going to give everyone a clue of what's going on in the world because I pretty much figured it out. I just can't say it because I don't want to be killed and I'm not suicidal at all. I'll give you a keyword that will help you understand the technology they're using against you. It's very advanced. It's been going on for a long time. So in their world, it's very old tech. But here's the key word. Look at Biden and look at Biden. That's all I can say. That should be enough to open your mind. There's actually a lot of posts about it. We're like, what the F? Is this even the same person? Why is he 6 inches taller? Whatever, blah, blah, blah. There's a lot, even Joe Rogan, they talk about it. They actually brought on a person that worked for the CIA back in the 1960s or 70s, I believe, that wore a prosthetic mask into the president's office of someone that he knew, and he couldn't even tell that was a mask or a different person. They even had voice trainers to train their voice like them. So that was back then. So imagine what they have today. You watch the movie Mission Impossible where Tom Cruise wears the fake mask and he looks like someone else. You got to remember, they put a lot of stuff in movies to wake you up or to kind of gloat. Haha, we're doing this to you and you have no idea. It's really sad when you see people more invested in sports and then you study Roman culture, how the Roman Empire fell. They ran the games for like 300 days every day to distract people because they were more invested in the gladiators and the killing and all that stuff than what's happening in their own country. And then you look around today where the average person, 9 out of 10 males, are more into sports than what's going on in their own country. Now, the reason why I say 9 out of 10 males is because it's the job as a alpha male and the males of the country to defend your country from foreign and domestic altercations or disputes, whatever it is. You're only as strong as your strongest men. You remember that, okay? Women, your superpowers are different than men's, okay? I love you. And the weirdest thing, a girl called me misogynist. I'm like, I worship women. I worship men, like on their abilities. You know, we're so yin and yang. We're so perfect together. Apart, we're a disaster. You know, we all have different superpowers. I already listed them in my last podcast. But, you know, men, when times get tough, like Andrew Tate said, when you call the police, you want a masculine man to show up to defend your ass. You want a masculine man to put your fire out. You know, you want a masculine man in the military fighting. If 9 out of 10 men today in North America are weak, pathetic pussies, right? The recruitment rate's down like by 64% in the American military. That's why they did the mandatory draft to get you all back in shape, because none of you have any discipline in your parenting. It sucks. Like, you know, like it all comes to parenting. You can't really blame the kid because, like I said, fat kids is bad parenting, which is so true. I shake my head all the time. I actually shake my head more at this too. The autistic thing. You know, I talk to a lot of elderly people because you can learn a lot. You can get a lot of wisdom from them to understand what it was like back in the day. And I asked my aunts and uncles because, 2020 to 2022 really woke me up on I want to expand my mind more to understand things that's going on in the world. And at our campsite, you see like 1 out of every 3 or 4 kids is severely autistic, like severely. And it's like, people was like, it's the new normal thing. And I'm like, why are people accepting this as a new normal thing? This is not normal. And then I asked elderly people, I'm like, hey, back in the day was like autistic, like normal, like as it's today. They're like, we heard of it, but you never saw it. It was never maybe one kid in the school. That was it. And then I watched a podcast. Go watch JFK. He's very intelligent and does his homework on pharmaceuticals and vaccines and all that stuff. And there was a law that was changed. I'm going to give you some off dates, but they're very close. It's like the 1985 or 6, where they changed the mandatory vaccinations from a certain amount of number to like 50 or 70 vaccines per kid. And then that was the 300% spike of autism. Now, I'm a very analytical man. That's what's made me successful in my entire life. So there's no such thing as coincidences. When you see data like that, I was like, that's a major red flag. That's actually what me and Natalie, I had a conversation, and I'm like, you know what? Never give my kid that shit. I know lots of people that didn't even get one vaccine and they're totally fine. Their actually IQ is a lot more higher than the average one. And I did a lot of research because I will study other parents just so I can apply their successes to my parenting, because I love to learn. And a really good friend of mine had 3 daughters. So the 2 first were fully vaccinated and the last one wasn't. I'm like, why didn't you get the last one fully or vaccinated at all? He's like, because the first 2 were substantially more retarded in learning than. So we're just like, you know what, maybe we should just lay off the vaccines and try the third one. The third one is far superior in healing, not getting sick, more intelligent, faster learning, 0 side effects from it at all. And then when people got the jab during 2020, 2022, I can't say much because I just don't want this video to be taken down because the first part's really good. All I can say to you guys is just open your eyes, take a look around. Now, a lot of you say the excuses, but I didn't get it. I would never. I just couldn't. I'd rather die than ever take something like that. You know, a lot of you did it because of work reasons. I understand that part because you have mortgages to pay and debt to pay. But just remember one thing. I'm going to say this to you because I love you. You sacrifice your health to pay bills and debt in a slave system that you can never escape from. Rewind this and re-listen to that. All you have is your health and your self-respect at the end of the day. You can drive a Bugatti, you can drive a Beamer, you can have the biggest house, the smallest house. None of it matters at all. All that matters is your health. There's people that are billionaires that are paying, for this and that and this and that illegally to get healthier and younger. And I can't talk. I figured it all out. But I can only say so much on the internet. A lot of you are on the right path. And a lot of you are waking up. The world elites really shot themselves in the foot when they did the lockdowns. And people started to wake up. And it was like a great awakening experience. And if I'm here to experience that, I am a proud Canadian. But I need the rest of you to start doing your research. Start waking up. Men, it's your job as the man of the household, not just to earn the money and pay the bills and put a roof over your family's house and bring the security, but also part of the security tree is being educated on what really is going on. The coolest thing I see nowadays is a lot of people are like canceling their cable because they don't even watch TV anymore because it's so fake. It's like fake news. It's so bad. I can't even watch TV anymore. It's so pathetic that like their biggest thing on global news is like, oh, Timmy got a hangnail. Jimmy won the spelling bee contest. Like, who fucking cares? Give me real news. Like, how corrupt is our government? Like, please tell me all of that. Tell me the real reason why Trudeau got divorced. I know. I just can't say it. It's all over the news. Just Google it. It's some, he paid someone off to keep the mouth shut and he got caught. The wife found out and he got, and something underage. So just those keywords, could type that in Google and you can check it out. That's real news, is uncovering that stuff. But then again, I found out that the global news of CTV is funded by the government. How fucked up is that? That means they can't say anything bad. They can't say anything real. That's why I call global news sheep news. Oh, look, sheep news is on. And people run to 6 o'clock to go sit down and watch it. I'm just like, oh my God, I want to eat a bullet sometimes, like with the stupidity of people. So like the intelligence of our society is so low. It's so pathetic. Like I was terrible in school at grades because my ADHD did not let me sit down and not let me learn anything retarded. Everything's fake. Even like our history is fake. Like I could tell you one crazy story that's so true and it's coming out. It's more evidence, that we might have been created by these beings. Just look up the data. Just look it. It's pointing as 100% true. Yes, there is God. Yes, there are aliens that all exist. It's the universe is too big for it not to exist. Some retard says, are we alone in the universe? I'm like, you know what? You're officially stupid. I can't talk to you. Like, my tolerance of low intelligence is so low that if I go quiet, it's because I don't want to be rude to you. I just don't want to talk to you. I can't lower my vibration anymore to talk to people like that. If you want to get the job and you're on number 8, keep going. You know what? You're at number 8. Let's go to number 12. I want to see what happens to you. I really do. I'm going to use you as a case study. Let's do it. Keep going. I'll drive you if you don't have a ride. Let's go. We'll fucking keep doing it. You want to eat fast food your whole life? Then keep doing it. But don't bitch if you get sick. The number one pet peeve I have is you seeing a overweight person in the hospital. Why am I sick, doc? I'm just like, oh, give him a smack, man. It's the doctors, like the shit you guys deal with and the nurses that you guys deal with in a day is astonishing. Even police. I have a lot of respect for you guys. That's why when you guys pull me over for going, Gran Turismo out there, whatever it is, I don't give you any flack. I have a lot of respect for you. Actually, the number one conversation I have with you is like, when are you going to go arrest our government? We put our trust into you. Go do it. Oh, it's out of my jurisdiction, blah, blah, blah. I would love to, but I can't. And then it's like, where's our military? Where are they? I know you're all good fighters and I have respect for you, but your number one job is to protect us from foreign and domestic. There's no foreign right now. It's just domestic. Where are you? Why is it veterans that are standing up during the truckers' protests and fighting for us? What's going on with that? Where is our paid military? Come on. There's a person in CSIS. Thank God you exist, CSIS. There's someone in CSIS that keeps leaking the truth about our government to Polyev and the news outlets. We would never learn about Rivescan app. We would never learn the real reason why Trudeau got divorced. We would never learned about why Trudeau was worth like $10 million or whatever it was before the pandemic. Now he's worth $320 million. I called CRA. I'm like, hey, that's our tax people up here in Canada. I'm like, I got one for you. Investigate Trudeau. How do you make that much money off of 10 or off of what he gets $400K per year? How did he get a net worth of 320 and he was worth 10 before the pandemic? Like, I would love to know how he did that because I'll copy it. And they're like, oh, well, we're going to investigate this person because they were $10 short or $100,000 over or $10,000 less. I'm like, you're investigating Canadians that break their backs to pay a 50% tax on their dollars when they're trying to feed their family and friends and their children, whatever it is they're trying to feed. And then they're working like, I have some buddies that I respect you because I can never do it. I worked 80 hours a week and just so I can pay my $4,800 a month interest on my mortgages so I can keep a roof over my head. Like, absolutely mind-blowing that you're going to investigate those hardworking Canadians, but you're not going to investigate our own politicians. This is where I declare our governments of the world are fully corrupt and need to be removed immediately by the people. And when we do that, the people will be in charge. We shouldn't even have the government at all. There was a time in our period of life for thousands of years where we didn't even have government at all. We just were good neighbors and we traded things for goods. How much of a cool of a society would it be that there is no more debt over your head to keep you as a slave? Wouldn't it be such a cool society if there was no more interest to pay? Taxes, you have to declare $400,000 a year to get a $2 million mortgage in BC. How crazy is that? Enough is enough. Grow your balls back and let's take our country back. Please. And that is the end of this podcast. Good night.